Hey guys, first regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about a marksman carbine build for the sniper class in Space Marine 2 patch 12. Now, the sniper actually received a buff in patch 12.2 where they reduced the max cooldown of his sniper camo cloak from 120 seconds to like 90, which makes his camo cloak significantly better, and that has indirectly buffed the vantage point and lingering concealment builds here, especially on top of the recent buff to the marksman carbine ammo variant. In patch 12, they gave this version a base damage buff. It now has practically identical damage on the headshot to the ×2 headshot multiplier version, which it does kind of just automatically make it the de facto best version here because you have a fat magazine capacity and a fat ammo reserve. So I do prefer this one overall. I'll be building around that today. Now for the perk tree here, I do take the perk here Headhunter first for a 10% headshot damage increase. Then I move here into the perk Rapid Health. When your health's below 30%, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores your health by 10%. This weapon is not the best at triggering this perk. It's not awful. Like, if you fight spore mines or cultists, it can definitely do that. It's just the automatic variant is definitely superior, but we mainly go up here for Headhunter into the perk here Home Precision, because a 50% reduced maximum weapon spread while you are firing without aiming is still pretty strong, even at close range on a marksman carbine. Next perk here is Divine Might for a 10% damage increase. Then I pick up the perk here Headhunter and Headhunter again for a 20% headshot damage increase. Then I go down here for Extended Magazine into the perk here Divine Might once again for even more damage. And then you kind of have a choice here. You gotta go down the bottom tree for increased capacity, Adamant Restoration, or Magazine Restoration, excuse me, into the perk here Adamantine Grip and Divine Might for more damage. Or you can do what I did and go up here for the perk Cleaving Fire, Adamant Hunter, Perpetual Precision, and Recoupment, because Recoupment gives you 1 armor back on a Majoris or higher headshot kill every 15 seconds, which it does make you significantly tankier on pretty much any class. But if you want that full damage, you definitely want to go down here, though I will say you can achieve a higher damage on the top row if you pick up the perk here Adamant Hunter and actually trigger this, because while you are below 30% HP, headshots will deal 25% more damage. This is a significant damage buff, and like I said before, you do not trigger Rapid Health that much on this version, so usually you can have this trigger and then actually have it up for quite a bit, so pretty good option there. But the main reason you go down the top tree is for Recoupment. Now, for the secondary, I do take the bolt pistol on the firepower variant. The main reason I take this one is because it has a Raven Guard champion skin. That is the actual reason. It just sounds cool. I like the Raven Guard champion skin on this a lot because it suppresses your weapon. But if you want to take like a heavy bolt pistol or inferno pistol, you definitely could. Now, as far as the perk tree is concerned here, I do go down the bottom tree first for Great Might. Moving here into the perk Retaliation. After a perfect time dodge, you will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. When this triggers, you will get more damage on the bottom row here than the top row. If you want to go up here for like Headhunter and to increase capacity for more ammo, you could definitely do that instead. Next perk here is Iron Grip, up here into the perk Gunstrike Reload. Being able to instantaneously reload your weapon on a gunstrike is super nice in this game, so I pretty much always grab this one. And the next perk is Divine Might for 10% damage buff into the perk Extended Magazine, Headhunter, and the most important perk here, which is Elite Hunter. After killing a Majoris or higher enemy with a melee weapon, headshots will deal 50% more damage for 10 seconds. You do have to have your secondary equipped while you actually get a melee kill or a melee execute with this, so keep that in mind. If you swap off the secondary here during the 10-second duration, you will lose the effect entirely, which does kind of suck, but as long as you are able to use it during that 10-second time period and actually get some benefit out of the 50% headshot damage perk here, it is a very strong option, so definitely grab this one. Final perk here is Headhunter, and that's pretty much all there is for the secondary. Now for the melee weapon selection, I do take the Power Gladius Heroic Combat Knife, mainly for boss damage in melee, because one of the benefits of the Marksman Carbine here is that you don't have to take targeted shot if you want to get like pretty good damage on it. You know, the 75% damage buff here, this does have a lingering effect as of like patch 11, where you will be able to get the full buff for like multiple shots off of Marksman Carbine. But that being said, the Marksman Carbine is good enough without this perk that you can pretty much just take Tactical Ambush for 150% more melee damage out of a Camo Cloak break, which is a very strong perk effect, especially when you combine it with the Power Gladius that has the heroic perk effect here, Agile Strike. After a perfect dodge, the next melee attack deals 120% more damage and can be stacked up to 3 times. Now there's a hidden effect here as well, where after the initial hit, the effect will linger for 1 second, so you actually get that damage buff for a bit longer than it might sound initially. And for the perk tree here, you pretty much go all boss damage, or like really just all melee damage in general, starting off with the perk here Perpetual Strength into the perk here Kinetic Energy. Each consecutive heavy attack increases heavy attack melee damage by 3% up to 30% for 3 seconds. The Power Gladius is actually a surprisingly fast weapon in this game. It has a 7 plus speed, which puts it pretty close to like the fencing, and the other balance option here is like identical basically. And the Argent Edge, while strong, only has a 3 plus speed here, so this one is significantly better for like skull crushing hordes and stuff like that. Next perk here is Perpetual Strength, up here into Perpetual Strength again for a 10% melee damage increase. Then I pick up the perk here, Heavy Onslaught. Heavy attacks with this weapon deal 15% more melee damage. Now, this will affect the damage of your Shadow Stab down here, and Shadow Stab is like the whole reason you take a Power Gladius in the first place, so definitely combine these two. And the next perk here is Reeling Blow, which kind of sucks, up here into Tide of Battle, which is okay. And the final perk I grab is Terminus Slayer for 20% more boss damage, because the whole reason you take this knife is for like a Carnifex or the occasional Hellbrute if you're like perfect dodging them. And that's pretty much all there is for the melee weapon selection. Now, for our perk tree, I do start off with the perk here, Melee Mastery. Melee damage increases by 20% against Majoris and higher enemies. This is a 20% multiplicative melee damage buff perk. It's actually one of the best melee perks in the entire game, so definitely grab this one like any build. Now, Block Break would be pretty good if block stance damage actually gave you any headshot multiplier in this game. Unfortunately, it doesn't, so it's really not that strong. I mean, it's better than nothing, but for the most part, Melee Mastery is definitely better. Next perk here is Vantage Point. Remaining stationary for 2 seconds increases your ranged weapons damage by 20%. Now, in patch 12, because of that base cooldown on your Sniper Camo Cloak being reduced, on top of the fact that the Marksman Carbine here has a 35 magazine capacity that goes up to like 40 plus with Extend Magazine here, you can kind of just use Lingering Concealment for 2 seconds of extra Camo Cloak while firing your gun, and you can just sit there, trigger Vantage Point, fire into a Neurothrop's head over and over, and because of the lowered cooldown on the Camo Cloak, you pretty much get your Camo Cloak back by the time your Vantage Point and Lingering Concealment are done anyways. You just do it right again. So really powerful option these days. I actually like Vantage Point a lot. And also in patch 12, they finally added like a little icon on your HP bar to show when this perk effect is active. Next perk here is Dexterous Hands. Bolt carbines reload 20% faster and the weapon spread recoil reduced by 15%. This is the only perk in this column that does anything for this build, so definitely pick it up. Next perk here is Squad Renewal. A headshot kill restores ability charge by 10% for any team member. You can take this or the perk Marksmanship. I mean, these days, you don't actually have to take the cooldown perks like Renewal or Squad Renewal like fundamentally. I still take them because they're still incredibly powerful, but you know, it is up to you. Next perk here is Purification. Manually activating Camo Cloak removes negative status effects and restores all contested health. This just makes your sniper incredibly easy to survive on. I pretty much always pick this up because contested health recovery like this is just so damn powerful. There are points in Space Marine 2 where you'll get slapped, you'll have nothing to shoot or melee, and all you have to do is just hit your Camo Cloak button and you're totally fine, so it saves you a ton of HP. Next perk is Tactical Ambush for the reasons I previously mentioned. Into the perk here, Lingering Concealment. After performing an attack that breaks Camo Cloak, you remain hidden for 2 seconds. This stacks very well Vantage Point, like I said before, because you use your cloak, you start shooting your gun, your first shot will break your Camo Cloak, the 2 seconds of this will activate, and you'll be able to sit there while nothing's targeting you and trigger Vantage Point, so really good option. And because of that base cooldown decrease they did before, you will usually have your Camo Cloak back by the time this is done anyways, or it's like 1 second from back, so really good synergy. Final perk here is Pattern of Excellence, reporting 3 consecutive headshots for equipment charged by 1. The cooldown is 30 seconds. When you find a Melt-A-Bomb, a Shock Nade, or even a Crack Grenade, or even just a frag, having a 30-second cooldown on those is incredibly useful for Horde Clear. In fact, the Melt-A-Bomb especially is like the premier form of Horde Clear on the Sniper anyways, so you definitely want this perk. And with a Marksman Carbine or just a Bolt Pistol, it is really easy to trigger consecutive headshots on both Chaos and Tyranids. Now, for our Prestige perk options here, I do take the perk Emperor's Grace first. When Camo Cloak activates, you become invulnerable to damage for 2 seconds. This is just an amazing utility perk. Invulnerability in Space Marine 2 will make you not only immune to damage, but also immune to knockback, so even better than it sounds initially. And the next perk here is Versatile Precision. Performing a kill with your secondary weapon restores 15% of your primary weapon's ammo. The cooldown is 15 seconds. This just solves your ammo economy issues, so you pretty much always want to pick this up, and your secondary weapon has enough ammo to pretty much keep you topped off the entire game. Next perk is Conviction. When your armor is fully depleted, you will take 25% less health damage for 15 seconds. This makes the sniper incredibly tanky. Without this perk, you're actually pretty damn squishy, because both the Tech Marine and the sniper have no HP increasing perks, so having damage reduction here, very valuable for him. Final perk here is Exacting Focus. After a gun strike, you deal 20% more range damage for 10 seconds. This is a really strong range damage buff, though I will say if you want to take Indomitable Spirit for no knockback on gun strikes, we don't actually have any direct form no knockback on this build because we are not taking this perk over here. If you want to pick this up to be like a little bit safer on the gun strike, you can definitely do that, but that is up to you. And that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. The Marksman Carbine has rapidly become one of my favorite guns in the entire game. I already kind of like the ×2 headshot multiplier version, but the fat magazine capacity here feels really good on the ammo reserve option. I'm really happy they buffed it up, even though it's kind of power crept the other variant here. But hopefully this build guide helped you, and if you like content like this, subscribe for more. If you want to watch me live to ask me questions about the game or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description alongside a link to my community Discord. And as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.
Active camouflage charge. Grenade on guard. Troop approaching.
The carpet tunnel simulator? Yeah. That's definitely what I said.
From my sights. Reloading. Stealth ready. Didactic servant slaughtered. Europrobe. Aim for the head. The dust storm has settled. Active camouflage charged.
It's kind of comical what you can do with this gun. So with lingering concealment, you kind of just hit the button and you just chill.
Chameleon line cloak ready.
It's such a fat magazine capacity, you just don't run out.
Chameleon line cloak activated. Inserting fresh magazine. There is a limit. There goes our range advantage. Deploying shrapnel grenade. Unseen device stalk my target. Reloading. The dust storm has settled.
Alright, yeah, actually. Alright, you know, he can get that one.
Camouflage charged.
I was about to complain. Dimer's like, you know what? That was a good shot. That was a really good shot. That was a ball-busting shot, I must say. You know, well deserved. However, you die.
Pieces remain. Their numbers are no match for our trade. I worry we shall find queens in our heart for years. Ready. Emilio line engaged. Readying active camouflage charge. Tyranids have
Not my goat, the bolt. My goat. My goat, the bolt carbine. It is indeed the bolt carbine.
take all you can
With
carry.
more ammo than ever.
The dust storm has settled.
Can anybody tell me how long the Sackable Power Gladius charges last? They last a while. I can't tell you the exact one. I can find out for you, but they do last a very long time. They used to be wasted on an execute. That's no longer the case. You will not actually waste them either until you actually spend, like you actually land a melee attack. So block charges will be expended the moment you attack
Line close, ready.
in this game. They'll start the countdown will begin. Power Gladius is not like that. You can swing your melee weapon and miss. You also get an execute.
Changing magazine.
Fine.
There goes our kills downright roomy after all that smothering dust. Fester and rot, Xenos abomination. Rearming. Focus fire on the Tyranid gun beast.
Oh, the free charges belong to me.
Bring victory over brute
Look at that.
A Camelio line cloak ready. Unseen I stole my target. Fester and rot, see not abomination. I am a phantom of death. Readying next volley. Active camouflage charge. Changing magazine. Camelio line engaged. Camelio line cloak ready. Reloading.
Right, any bosses? No. Might get another boss spawn here, we'll see. Looks like 10 seconds, thank you. Yeah, it's around there.
We have arrived at the
That's
ammo.
about right. It's pretty similar to block.
Activate the quartermaster's console and wake the machine.
How do you
spirit.
silence mass for
Instructed
active
to load
rounds? That's a
the
great question,
impulsive
Fridge.
warhead onto the train and assist it when
One we may
necessary.
never know the answer to.
Messiah's blessings, Quartermaster. Awaiting your instructions.
This is Scipius. Load a Nova Cannon implosive warhead onto the supply train.
Acknowledge. Commencing transfer protocols. Attention. Researchers confirmed. Operators required to complete the transport process.
Alright, guys. Oh, chat, what's your favorite bolt carbine in the game? Or bolt weapon, I should say. What do you guys like currently? Where's the first tour of Peaks, man? I wish, dude.
Our adversaries are keen to lose it. Enemy receives their aid. Their numbers are no match for our train. Rearm. Munitions here.
I wish, brother, I hear about you every other streamer glazing you and your skill. You gotta be peak. The reports of my skill have been greatly exaggerated. I'm actually a fraud. It's torn between Stalker and Marksman Carbine. I think the Marksman might be my favorite in this one.
Authorization granted, machine spirit.
Good. Escort the payload to the train.
Depot blueprints reveal a lift that should take us to the station. Synaptic servants slaughtered. Active camouflage. Tyranids have no mind for tactics. Camelio line cloak
Let's line up your brains. You're all brain. Oh, you're next. Fucking idiots. You stupid. God, you're all brain. You couldn't figure that shit out? I was right there.
Hostile backup on the way. Unseen, I stole my target. Reloading. Active camouflage charged.
FTG, do you prefer a new one-handed hammer or two-handed power sword? Dude, I want two-handed weapons. I think the two-handed weapons in this game are done very well. I think they're done a lot better than the one-handed ones are. Like, power sword's pretty good. Power sword is pretty good already. But, like, how do you guys feel about the one-handed versus two-handed weapons in Space Marine 2? Power Axe is probably the best. I mean, it's also the newest. That definitely helps, but... New guns totally a flamer gauntlet. It's an automatic SMG bolter. Maybe it'll be a flamer. Hate them both. Too slow for you? That's because you hate fun.
Readying next volley. I got promise. Xenos descending. Frag grenade deployed. Stealth ready. I am a phantom of death. Frag grenade. Immediate line Cloak ready. Rearming. Tyrannies have no violent actions. Unseen, I stalk my target. Active camouflage charge. Immediate line engaged. Stealth ready. Alien, we live. Xenos die. Perfect.
Perfect.
Readying next volley. Immediate line.
1 second, guys.
Ready.
You want a two-handed weapon that's not super slow? Me too, man. Actually, no. I don't mind the slow weapons in this game. I just prefer a. I don't know. What would I want?
Reloading. There goes our rage.
I mean, if you had like a heavy eviscerator type that's like a large sweeping arcs, that'd be kind of cool.
Xenos viscera is everywhere. Remain on guard. Zone stealth ready. Rearming. Unseen, I stalk my target. The dust storm has settled. Active camouflage charged. Emilio line Cloak ready. Inserting fresh magazine. I am a phantom of death. Watch out. All cyclones of sediment. Ready. Unseen, I stalk my target. Changing magazine. Emilio line Cloak ready. Emilio line Cloak activated. The dust storm has settled.
What are consequences?
Active camouflage charge. They shall
Never heard of them.
Their numbers are no match for our strength.
Pew 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 pew.
Rearming.
The only downside of this gun is you will have to retire from gaming in general within like an extra 5-year period. Or I should say 5 years earlier, not extra.
Fester and rot, seek of abomination. The dust storm has settled. Stealth ready. Inserting fresh magazine. A Meteorid high priest sighted. Active camouflage charged. These storms will strip our colors right down to the ceramite.
Alright. How do you stay invisible for so long while shooting? Lingering concealment. So you have like, so the initial shot will break your camo cloak, and then after that you have 2 additional seconds, and then your camo cloak had a base cooldown increase, or a decrease this patch, for in 12.2, which means you kind of just chill. Like, so if I hit my button and I shoot my gun immediately, like I've already stopped the cloak, and it's back like immediately. If you get like any headshot in there, that's not even like fully optimal. Not even close. You do it a lot faster than that. Like that. That's a camo cloak cancel. It's pretty peak.
There goes our range advantage. I am a phantom of death. Stealth ready. The dust storm has settled. Objective on the other side. Terminal looks empty.
You can also take this build to Chaos. I would probably just take an Inferno pistol though. Maybe an Argent Edge if you really want to. Now we didn't really get any
Obstruction detected.
artifacts this time, so we didn't have to use our Power Gladius, but the Power Gladius is quite good versus them.
I will see it through. Path is
So
clear.
what do you think about the leveling system in the game? Kind of dog shit. It's okay for weapons, but like for your character, that's the number one thing I want to see change next patch.
Changing magazine. So mighty dominance. Synaptic servants slaughtered. Emilio line open. Gigazinos love second wave headed toward us. They shall not. More hostiles arriving. Adjust as needed. Unseen, I stalk my target. Active camouflage charge. Reloading.
Yeah, we didn't stop from there.
I am a phantom of death. Stealth ready. Their numbers are no match for our training. Second wave headed toward us. Emilio line cloak activated.
Well, we didn't get our shot dragged 180 degrees in the wrong direction by a gunstrike.
Alien bioform marked. Stealth ready. Changing magazine.
This should make it so you get all the perk options earlier, but not full effectiveness instead of having to remax. True. It's pretty toxic the way it's set up currently.
Departmental Militarum Ordnance Transfer 3639 loading complete. Manifest updated.
Unless you're grinding absolute with Gene Seed, this game is painfully so to level. That it is. That it certainly is.
Frag grenade deployed. Active camouflage charged. Inserting fresh magazine. Syntactic serpent slaughter. Xenos Camo scope. Stealth ready. Buckle parade. Ravener activity.
I can't grab it. There's a fucking... I was holding my E button, or I was rapidly pressing my E button, but there was a barrel in the way, so that actually stops your line of sight to the enemy for the execute animation. Tragic.
Line cloak activated. Line cloak ready. This was the only possible outcome for that Tyrannid. They shall not see. Fester and stealth ready.
That's the main benefit of this new version they buffed up.
I am a phantom.
Is that the old one you run out of a magazine capacity before you could actually do this, but now you have like 40 shots in your fucking magazine, which means you kind of just get to sit in your cloak the whole game and just pew pew.
Our orders are clear.
How satisfying.
Readying next volley.
What would be your reaction if Dark Tide add any of the adnet classes to the game? I'd be hyped. I mean, if they do, I'll get the early access and get to play it, so I'll be hyped for that too.
Lieutenant, payload is delivered.
I do make Dark Tide content occasionally.
Deploy it.
Off you go.
Active power depleted. Initiating charging cycle. Departmental Militarum penalties will be assessed.
The codex.
This carbine variant is semi-auto, right? Yes.
Thalassa, I have multiple swarms moving to your location. You have their attention. Deal with them swiftly. You will not get another shot at this.
Alien fireball eliminated. Free of stealth ready. Let us ambush the Tyranids on those tramways. Our engine will make a fine plow. Tyranid hyper. Purge the abhorrent Xenos from the train. Post-haste. Xenos on the lines. Summon the train. Changing stealth ready. That zoanthrope is no more. They shall not see.
But
Deploying fractal
D-Dot loading him during the Imperial Guard. Damn. Ow. What do you think about the Blood Angels Vanguard Veteran model? I'm not a big fan of the Phobos in general. Like, it's okay. It is okay. I know some people like Phobos, it's just not my aesthetic for a Marine. Phobos? Holy Primaris brain rot. What do you mean, dude? Primaris is all that matters in 40k anymore, you know? Firstborn ain't coming back as an important figure anytime soon, I'll tell you that much. Well, they will be. I mean, they're always around, but Primaris are the new big thing, so that's what they'll be pushing for a very long time. That's what you're talking about. Are you talking about the sort of first one I didn't see? When they lose that. I mean, I think Primaris' characters look better. Like, I like the fact they're taller and things like that. I like some of their armor more than I like the Firstborn stuff. Firstborn very stocky. They're okay. Depends, you know. Depends on the armor set. I could do without the random gaps in their armor, though, for the mesh. I've been watching since the game came out, and it says this has been long overdue. I appreciate that, brother. Here's the thing: I've been making content the entire time this game's been out. A long time. Game's almost 2 years old. The Vanguard seems plain Jane, just old model with less details. That's how they've been going for a bit now. Ow, 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 ow. Hold on. Not like this. I think we built this build for melee, and we haven't really had to use our melee options, like, at all. Except for, like, that one portion right there. Ow. You bet we'll get PTS next week? Next week, dude? No way. They're probably gonna drop that shit in, like... I don't even know. 2 weeks? End of May? No, they're not going to hold it back that much. We don't even have the roadmap yet. I imagine we're going to get the PTS release date at the same time we'll get the roadmap.
Active camouflage charge.
The engine is charged and prepared for departure.
I low-key stopped playing a month ago because of the Chaos Bomb spam. It's been playing with randoms. It was too hard to win, but I might have to fire up the engines again. The game is always fun, man. It is the GOAT game. Alright, this is it.
Departure is contingent on
That was free.
final launch
Bomb
protocols.
is away.
How much range damage we get? Good luck.
Detonation in 5. Brace for shockwave.
Alright, I promise we do stratagems with viewers, so we'll do that. That next.